What's going on, guys? It's me, saying Rocketman, and today I'm going to be talking through my top 5 games of 2015. Now remember, these are just my opinions, so maybe some games in this list that you maybe don't think are good enough to be in a top 5, or maybe some that I'm missing that I haven't got round to playing yet, and I'll get round to them at some point, and maybe they'll be better and I'll have to change my list. But at this moment in time, my top 5 games of 2015 are as follows. Number 5, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now, I know Assassin's Creed generally gets a lot of hate, much of it deserved. It is repetitive, it is yearly title that people are just fed up of, want a break from it. But for me, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the best game in the series since Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Everything about the game just worked. The two protagonists that you play as, Evie and Jacob Fry, work perfectly together. The supporting characters, the location, the side quests, the main story, I just think everything worked well for it. And if you haven't picked it up, give it a try. It's definitely worth your time and the effort it'll take to play it. Number 4 on the list, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Now, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a game that had high expectations, that pretty much everybody within the industry was expecting to do well and play well. And on a whole, I think it did. The game's amazing. I think the only thing that stops it from going in at number 1 on my list is the fact that the last quarter of the game or so is just repeating missions, and you can really tell that the game was unfinished because of all of the Hideo Kojima and Konami issues that was happening in the background. Now, in terms of the game, everything about it I felt was great. The gameplay mechanics, the locations, the characters, the companions, which I think was great, like Quiet and D-Dog. And D-Dog's a great companion who you just happen to come across during one of the quests. He's just a little pup who's been abandoned, and you see him grow up until the point where he becomes your companion. And I mean, everything else about the game's great as well. I mean, the soundtrack's amazing. I found myself playing the game with the soundtrack on and ignoring sounds and stuff of the world, because listening to the classic tapes that you find was great. And so yeah, if you haven't played it, definitely go and pick it up, give it a try. It's a game that pretty much anyone I think will enjoy if you enjoy video games, because it's got everything. It's great. So yeah. Number 3 on my list is Fallout 4. Now, Fallout 4 is easily my most anticipated game of the last few years. Even before it was announced, I think everybody expected it to be coming. Very well received the last couple of titles have been, and I think this definitely lives up to it. I mean, the only thing that probably stops it coming in higher is the fact that it's taken some of the RPG elements out of it, and it's a little more there for casual players, so to speak. Now, everything that they've added to the game I really enjoy. Like, the settlement building was great, having to find resources. Literally everything is usable in the game now, from the tin cans that you used to just store up in your flipping inventory and never get used, to bits of tape and stuff. You need everything for building settlements and for upgrading weapons and stuff like that. Now, the game world I think is great. There's definitely a lot to do, a lot of places to explore. There's all sorts of new monsters you can fight, as well as the classics like the Death Claws and the Rad Scorpions and stuff. The usual stuff's still in there as well, in terms of the different groups, like the Brotherhood of Steel and stuff like that. And if you haven't played it yet, definitely go and pick it up. It is a great game and one you'll really enjoy. Right, now coming in at number 2 is a game that I can't even show you the case of. It's a game that I didn't even know was coming out until it released, and that game's Rocket League. Now, Rocket League is a simple concept. It's cars playing football, whether 1v1 all the way up to 4v4. But when I actually got around to playing the game, it's a game I cannot put down. It's a great game. It works. It's evenly balanced. The matchmaking works. The whole idea of it is just great. It's a lot of fun. It's a game that you can jump on with a couple of friends. You can spend hours playing it. I still play it pretty much as often as I can now. And it's definitely a game that if you pick it up and you give it a try, I guarantee you will enjoy this game. It's not too expensive, but you will get just as much gameplay out of it as you would out of maybe Fallout or Metal Gear Solid, and it's definitely worth your time and definitely worth giving it a try. So if you haven't, definitely go pick it up and let me know what you think in the comments to it. Number 1 on my list is a game that pretty much tops everybody's list, so it's not going to be much of a shocker, but that is Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. Now, it's a game that I've been looking forward to for quite a while. I played Witcher 2 a few years back, went back, brought Witcher 1, played through that, loved that. So once this was announced, it was a game that I knew I was going to buy. I went out and picked it up day of release. I've played probably too much time on the game. I'm currently going through my second playthrough on Death March difficulty. I picked up the expansion pack, which was well worth the money. Some of the best DLC / expansion that you can pick up. I mean, everything about it. The devs are great developers. They get out some free DLC and stuff to keep you coming back, keep you playing. I mean, everything. You even get like a little thank you note in the case and stuff for thanking you for buying it. Now I can't think of any other developer that'd do that. But I mean, on the whole, the story was great. The combat was great. Exploring the world, which I found myself doing a lot of the time. It took me a long time to actually go through and complete the story because I was just doing side quests and exploring. Just coming along, find a little town, pick up a quest, go and do that quest, and so on and so forth. It's a game that, if you haven't played, you definitely should. It's an RPG, but it's got everything. It's probably my top 5 games of all time. That is how good and how highly appreciative of this game I am. So remember, if you haven't picked it up, go pick it up. It's a game well worth your money, one you'll probably enjoy, and I cannot wait for the next expansion in a couple of months' time. So, thanks. So, those are my top 5 games of 2015. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, there are a couple of other games that I've played, which was good games, but maybe didn't quite make the cut, and stuff like that. Games like Batman Arkham Knight, which, although was a good game and I really enjoyed it, it didn't live up to the hype. I expected more from it, and I didn't really enjoy it as much as I expected to. To other games like Dying Light. Dying Light was a great game that I picked up for cheap like a month or two later on the PSN store, and it's a game that I had a lot of fun with that. Now, let me know what your top 5 games of 2015 are in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, remember, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back in a couple of days with another video. In a bit all, peace.